Hello, everyone. Hope you guys are having a good day. I'm gonna start working on this web app project again. If you guys have any questions, just let me know. Try to answer them to the best of my ability. Why is this not working? What I'm reading is that should work, but for some reason it's not working. Hey, Unphase, how's it going? Thanks for the follow. I think you heard me talk about this before, Unphased. This is my GitLab server that I run. Nice self-host at the house. And building the user service image keeps failing on me, and I'm trying to figure out why. If I can get this to build and deploy these services and get them running, I can start actually testing the website communicating with the API. If you want to see the pipeline, this is the pipeline that's running. We're on this step here. And this is the one that keeps failing. Let's see if it works now. Unphase, how are you liking the new desk? Or have you gotten the new desk yet? Yeah. Right now I have 3 microservices technically that I want to get interconnected, and I'm trying to build a container image for it. This, hold on one second, user service image. This is the one that's failing. Yeah. Well, I'm using Docker Compose. So whenever it comes in, it should start right here. But the problem becomes, for some reason, it can't, this Docker file can't find, it can find go mod, but it can't find go sum. Well, let's do this. That's awesome. Do you enjoy having the different spaces? Always good. Always good to enjoy. I like where my desk is right now. I'm actually really excited for when I finish my basement and get the office set up. Sorry, this stream might be a little slow because I'm trying to figure out pipeline problems instead of actually coding. But once this is up, it's just one step closer to actually having it. Because technically, once I have this up, I can hit everything and start interconnecting the different services. And it will build my database container for me as well. Before I added this build and this build, it was taking about 3.5 minutes to run. Yes. So the way the pipeline works, which this is what I complained about with Azure, since we're using TFVC instead of Git. Most modern repos, or like Git version control systems, they use a YAML file like this as the pipeline. Like that right there is the pipeline. You don't have the little, I guess they call it classic in Azure, which doesn't allow you to fine grain do all of this. Yeah, no, I know they do, but you can't use it unless you're using Git. If you're using TFVC, you cannot use the YAML. One reason why a lot of us were wanting to switch to Git, because I think this is much easier to deal with, and it tells you exactly what it's doing, and it's literally in your version control system. It's where it lives. Oh, and thank you, by the way. You helped me reach my follower goal. Yes, a lot more. There were like parameters and stuff you could give the little jobs that they had, but it seemed like you had to follow the fences that they gave, basically. You doing this for work or just for fun? Oh, really? That's cool. Well, maybe this will be a good experience for you. Help me figure out what's going on with this. What is it? So what I'm doing right now is trying to determine what directory we are in inside of the container to figure out why it can find one but not the other, considering they're in the same exact place. You can see I had it passing right here. This is me working on it and adding stuff over time. So you're trying to do the whole gamut from testing, building, and then deploying. Yeah, you can always find templates online, or you can set up your own templates and use those inside of others. This is me just slapping things together I can refactor later. Remember, step one, make it work. What? Pretty sure I updated that. Oh no, I didn't miss it. So I'm trying to use the Alpine images instead of the latest images for Node. They're much smaller. You don't have to worry about them as much. So depending on what you use, you could literally make this gig smaller. No. It's all one pipeline. I am making different containers for each of the microservices though. So weird. I wonder if I'm coming at this the wrong way. I think this is messed up somewhere. Okay, let's do that. Right back at it. So how are you enjoying the pipelines? Um, so at my first job, I started working on a project, uh, and we used Golang for the front end with some static web pages using Temple, which is a templating library for Go. But it was also basically our entire front end. It had all the code we needed. And then we had back end APIs and services, and it was an app to help the process of incident reports for the volunteer fire department in the local area. So we started everything from scratch. So we used Golang, PostgreSQL. Mind you, all of these are in containers. FluentD. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else. So we were using Git. I don't remember what version control system we were using, as in like the website style of things. But we used Docker Compose, and Vagrant. And Vagrant is basically what Docker is to containers, but with virtual machines. So we were running on Windows laptops, and we spun up a Linux virtual machine, a headless Linux virtual machine using Vagrant. And then once it spun up, it would pull in all of the code for you, and then using Docker Compose, like literally from scratch, build everything, and then spin up the website, the backend, the databases, and FluentD. And FluentD is a logger for Docker containers, so it would grab any error messages or any just logs in general and push those to another database. So we had a database of logs, and we had a database on our back end. Anytime something happened with those Docker containers, if it broke, whatever it may be, it got pushed over into a table in this database. So literally from nothing to everything, we could get any developer who was coming onto the project up and running in 5 minutes. It was really fun. It was like my first experience at a job, and that was my favorite project I've ever done, hands down. And that's where I had to learn YAML. If I recall correctly, I didn't like YAML that much, but I mean, it is what it is. You gotta use what you gotta use. Okay. Apparently I misunderstand how to use the copy command in a Docker file. Otherwise, I'm crazy. Okay, that makes sense. So hey Dizemi, how are you doing? Heck yeah. Are you liking it better now? The back of my head, that is. Do you want me to turn the light off? Would that make you feel better? Oh, is it? You can see all this, all my pile of candy canes and money and all the dirtiness. My little Ivysaur. There's 12. Close enough. Think you're a little over. This one, the user service image here. I think I figured out what's going on though. So when I use this right here, this right here says go into this folder. Everything else is just not there anymore. So I got to figure out how do I do that, but get the right folders. Now, I don't know how I'm going to do that. I know we can always try. Wonder if that would work. That would be very funny. How was work today, Tazimi? That sucks. I hope you get back to coding soon. An all-day deploy? What? And this is planned to take all day? Do they not have pipelines? Oh, going to say. Tell them you know a guy who knows pipelines. He's literally streaming how to do it on his Twitch account. Oh, that's awesome. That's so much fun. That's what I'm working on right now. I'm trying to take my web front-end microservice, an API microservice, a database microservice, and build the images and then deploy them to my local development server. And here soon, I can have you guys create accounts and start playing around in there for me, seeing if we can get all the kinks knocked out early. Unphased, you're more than welcome to join in as well. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, you can always push me on there. I don't know. I haven't heard anything back, so we'll find out. Like I said, I did mention I knew you. Do they have those? Oh, that's awesome. Did I ever tell you that I got a referral bonus for Shane? Unphased might not know the story. So, back in the day, they had referral bonuses. And there was a spot open. I told Shane. Shane ended up getting it. And, like, what was it? Like 3 or 4 weeks after Shane put in his application and we started, doing everything, they upped the referral bonus to like thousands of dollars from 500. Oh, I was so mad. I was so mad. Oh, also, I think they tax it as well. So I really didn't get $500. It was just a blip. Welcome to the world we live in. So I feel like I'm gonna have to either copy these down and remove them in the pipeline, or copy the Docker file up for a minute. I'm not sure. Let's try it out. I'm just doing this so that way I can get this to the right spot easier. Then we're going to now we're going to remove said files. But if you refer someone now unfazed, you'll get thousands of dollars. Sort of. Still gonna tax it. To get humble. How are people keep saying this to me, so how am I humbling you? Because, you know, imposter syndrome sucks, and I feel the same way you do half the time. And you're literally the... You're like the third or fourth person to tell me this in the past couple days. I'm sure you can guess who the other one was. I think the term he uses is glaze, not gas. Well, I appreciate that. I will say I have experience, but that's just because I'm old and decrepit. Your X-ray. I could have told you you're normal. You're the most normalist person I know. I'm joking. You're awesome, Tazemi. Don't let anyone tell you differently. See, Unfazed, this is all I do all the time. Like, not all the time, but like when I help Tazemi on his game, I know nothing, next to nothing about games. At least that's how I feel. Tazemi is way more experienced and skilled in that than I am. Well, we solved one issue. Alright. Now we gotta do the opposite. Because... So we got this over... You know, we moved it down. We moved it down. So now that's not going to work. So what we're really going to have to do is move the Docker file up because it needs its stuff as well. Should have saw that coming. Yeah, it was 50-50. Could have gone either way. Also, this is Helix. If you have never seen it before, Unfazed, I really enjoy using it. It's like Vim, but made in Rust and better in my opinion. It just has nice all-around features. So we want to go the opposite direction. We want to pull back. We want to pull that here, and then we just want to remove the Docker file that we moved up. Oh, if you guys like minimal things, this is a minimal browser called Zen Browser. It's decent. Yeah, so what you're seeing right now, this is actually Zellage. It's like Tmux. It's a terminal multiplexer. So I have this command or terminal command prompt, whatever you want to call it, and then this one down here. And in this one, this is a terminal user interface file manager called Yahtzee. And then whenever I open, and then you just use your keyboard to navigate up and down your directories. So this is HJKL, so H left, L right, J down, K up. And same thing basically inside of the Helix. It's pretty nice. I've really enjoyed it so far. I've recently just started, like, I don't know how long ago, 3-4 weeks maybe, about a month I've been using it. Hey, Unphased, did you ever get to see my keyboard I made? Oh man, I love it. That's what I'm using right now. I was gonna say, if you hadn't seen it, this is one of the sides. If you can see that, I don't know. It's really fun. I just updated the firmware on it because I was missing the back tick, and you need that in Go. Very important. I actually play games with it too. I have a different layer, so you can change layers. Best way to put it is one layer is basically what the keys are, what you see like on the um, caps, and then I can switch it to a different layer that then runs has a different set of keys, and you can name the layers and stuff too, and it shows up on the little LCD screens. I think it's pretty neat. I think I messed up and forgot to change something. Yep. Now it should do what I expect it to do, hopefully. The only thing that sucks about doing pipelines like this is you just have to fix it or believe that you fixed it, depending on how things go, and just wait. Jeez. Do you guys do a lot of testing up there where you're at, Unfazed? Do they even have unit tests? And have you been working with Mountain Mauler much? Oh, not yet. We heard that you might. We didn't know for sure. That's all he's been doing recently, I think. I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I could be wrong. I haven't really been keeping up with him. Would you look at that? It's working. See, it just takes time and patience. Oh, man. So it was working. It wasn't something with the pipeline. So since we're here, I'll go ahead and show you if you're still there unfazed. So I have this set up as basically like a hex architecture. I've talked to you about it before. So here in app, I have my interfaces and I have a user repo, but my get user by ID method does not match for my database, so I got to make it match. And I can see why. So if we go in here, this is Go code if you've never seen it before. It's really fun. These are structs. They're basically your classes. Because there are no classes. This is a multi-paradigm language. So this is basically your class. It all holds as data. This is a constructor. And this is how you implement methods for a class. This is basically saying I'm a class of DB. and this is the method on it. So this is wrong, and the reasons it's wrong is that I should be returning a pointer to a struct. And that looks right. We're just going to do this for now. So nil is null in this language. So basically this is my query, and this is me calling the query from the database. If there's an error calling the query, then, you know, return no user and return the error. You can have multiple returns in Golang. And this is saying that the user is going to be null and the error is going to be null because it worked properly. But I haven't implemented this method fully, so I'm just trying to make it work. Have you ever seen Go code before? I don't think so. Let me look at Onion real quick. I don't remember Onion off the top of my head. Well, it'd be better if I search Onion architecture, not just Onion. Similar. It uses the same. It uses the same like architecture in the center, but what you've done is so similar to Onion, what you've done is you've isolated your code, your like business logic from everything else. So at any point in time, you can switch out your primary and secondary, or your driver apps versus your driven apps. And what that means is your front end is a driver of your code, but your back end is driven by your code. So I create interfaces, and if I ever want to change the database, I can swap it out, no problem. If I ever want to change how the front end works, I can swap it out, no problem. The Go is really fun. It has some interesting things with it that allows it to, at least to me, I really like some of the neat stuff, like you can open up a file and then right after it close it and still use it the rest of the method. You just use the keyword defer close, and what defer does is whatever's after defer is the last thing to run whenever you close out the method. There's also some other little syntactic sugar that comes with it as well. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I liked about it. I do know one thing. A lot of people hate this about Go, which is it will literally force you to use um, the style that it wants. It literally will not compile if you don't use the right style. So if you mess up styling, it won't compile. And it was basically designed for cloud architecture. Another good one I like is Rust. If you haven't seen Rust, I suggest it. It's basically as fast as C, if not faster, but it does not come with the problems of memory management as C because it checks those things at compile time. And so if it sees that something's wrong or something's trying to use it that shouldn't be at compile time, it will not compile, and then you have to go fix it. So it compiled that time. Now it's a different error. We're just literally chasing errors. I was hoping that it would fix. It'd be so nice if these things just fix themselves, you know? I know what I did. That file doesn't exist. That's what I want. Stupid mistake. So basically, I was trying to send it to the folder get-main when I wanted main from, sorry, app-main when I wanted the executable main from the folder app. But this has been really fun, talking and explaining the code to you. It helps me solve the problem. You know, rubber duck debugging. My chair's too squeaky. I need to get me one of those secret lab chairs like you in Mountain Mauler. Save my back. I would go for the desk if it wasn't as expensive as it was, and if I didn't have this desk. This desk works just fine. I would kill for that monitor arm though, because it will hold my ultra wide. It would help if we were looking at the pipeline, huh? Why not? It's one of the best features. I really like the standing desk. If I had a proper camera setup, I'd probably do some streaming while standing. Yeah, I've done it before. Man, if I had like a little, I don't know what they're called, the underdesk, oh man. Hey, it passed. Um, Next one's probably gonna fail though. Just gotta fill in. Um, Treadmill, like a underdesk treadmill, and stand the desk up and just walk while working or gaming. That'd be pretty cool. uh, I don't think so. Maybe to some people. Holy crap. It's actually working. Oh, the other cool thing about GitLab is it has its own container registry, so I don't have to use Docker Hub or anything like that. All of these are being pushed right back to GitLab. Hey, that job succeeded first go. Look at that. Maybe I'm not as bad at this as I thought I was. I know the rest of it should work. I've ran it before. But, yeah, if you look here at deploy, you can see container registry. And, yeah, it just pushed this one, and it pushed that one as well. Oh, no. Oh, I didn't update the Docker Compose file, so it's going to break. I just realized this. That's fine, though. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the whole point of this. Like, so... I know it's going to break, so I'm not worried about it. So this right here tests my front end application because I don't have any other tests right now. I want to get this in a state where it's up and running. Then I can start running some tests or adding tests and then I want to start connecting it and making sure nothing changes as I go along. This builds the front end, and then I skipped that for these two. So really all these do is this is going to create the image for the Go API. This is going to create the image for my database, and this is going to create the front end image, and then this is going to deploy it. So what this does when it deploys is, I thought this was really cool when I found out. When it builds those images, it'll build it, and then it will, let's go look real quick. So as you can see, this right here is building the image. This is logging into GitLab registry, and then this is pushing that same image to the GitLab. And then this this Docker Compose template that I have here, which this is what I'm talking about, is I forgot to put the images in here, but this is the front end. It's grabbing the front end image for the latest image, and these are stored. I think these are just normal GitLab environment variables other than image name. That one's in the pipeline. But it takes this file and then takes its environment variables, these, and will replace them with the actual like what they're supposed to be, the actual variables. And then I can do that down here with this image and this image. And then if we go back to the pipeline, this is it here. Right here. So we're getting get text from the package manager. We're getting OpenSSH client. This is setting up the image name for me. This is the process of it substituting all of those environment variables with the actual variables and then renaming it to Docker Compose. And then it will use SSH to copy the file over. And then once it's copied over, it will actually log in to the registry, pull the file from it, and then it will run Docker Compose up and then take that Docker file we were just looking at, this one with the stuff, the environment variables switched out, and then it will just run it, and that should spin up the entire environment for me to start playing around with. But artifacts are a little different. Artifacts are going to be a file. Not necessarily an image. And I mean, it could be an embedded file, right? But since I'm using Docker images, I push it to the container registry. And then if we look in here, let's see, the web one has a bunch of different tags. This is for me building it over time. And then these should just have one tag right now because this is the first time I've ever built them. But if I get the Docker Compose file set up properly, I won't even have to run the entire pipeline again. I can just run that one step over. And then it will pull this, push it over, and grab these as well. It shouldn't be that hard. Oh, that's interesting. They all share the same, which would make sense because it's a commit hash. But yeah, that's basically the pipeline in a nutshell and what I'm trying to do. If you'd like, once I get it up and running minimally, I can send you the information and you can test it out for me. And I'm sure Tazemi would like to test it out as well, and the other guys, and you guys can help me make sure that it's up to snuff. Um, I mean, you could look at it that way. An artifact is going to be anything that a pipeline creates, a physical thing that it creates, if you want to look at it that way. So it could be a file, it could be an executable, it could be a folder with a bunch of files in it, right? So it's going to be something like that. An image is different in the sense that it takes those and packages them into a container and then creates an image from that container, and then you can basically spin up an exact copy of that image as a container no matter what. So if something happens to that container, just kill it and then grab the image again and then redeploy, respin it up, and you're fine. You're starting from scratch. You're starting from, where you left off, basically. It's called an image because it's like an ISO of an image of. It's basically the state that you want your environment to be in. All your dependencies, your executables, your environment variables, everything that you need just for that specific app, whatever you're trying to run, whether it be database, backend, front end, all that's going to be contained within that image. And when you run it, it's always going to be in that same state, always. And you don't care if it breaks because you can just spin up a new one in seconds. It's not a problem. And so that's the value of an image over an artifact of an executable, because if I have an executable, I can just put it somewhere, but that doesn't put the dependencies there necessarily. You could have dependencies that you need to add as well. And so an artifact you can look at as like a physical thing. If you want to say physical, it's not really, it's digital. It's going to be an executable, files, folders of that sort. An image is going to be like a snapshot of a environment, like a production environment or say, whatever it may be, because you're just encapsulating all of your dependencies and everything that you need in order to run the app. Nothing else. You don't want anything else in there as much as possible. You only want the things that you need to run the app. But man, it is past my time to get off of here. Thanks for hopping in. I really enjoyed you hanging out, talking with me, and to Zemi, if you're still on here. You guys have a good night. I will see you the next coding stream, and I'll let you know when I hop on. Anyone else who stopped in, thanks you guys for stopping in. Y'all have a good night.